Hello everybody, welcome to Life in France. Life in France versus life in the UK. I'm Mark, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget, hit that red button so you don't miss any future releases. In today's Life in France versus the UK, I'm going to talk about reptiles. Basically lizards and snakes found in the UK compared to France. Now, as a young lad in the UK, I always used to go out searching for slow worms and grass snakes. Managed to see them a couple of times, grass snakes, but never actually caught them. Whereas in France, in Brittany, because the climate's slightly better than the rest of the UK, I've seen and found more reptiles here in Brittany than I've ever seen in the UK. Now, in the UK, there are 5 reptiles that can be found alive there. There's 3 snakes and 2 lizards. You've got, for lizards, you've got the sand lizard, which is the rarest of all reptiles in the UK. And you have a slow worm, which is basically a legless lizard. A lot of people mistaken the slow worms for snakes, but they are actually a lizard. And of the 3 snakes in the UK, only 1 is poisonous. So basically in the UK you have the adder, which is the poisonous. You have a grass snake. They tend to have a yellow ring around their neck, and they can be green, grey, brown or black. Or you have a smooth snake. Again, very rare reptile found in the UK. They can be mistaken for adders. And a lot of people unfortunately kill the smooth snakes thinking that they're an adder, that they've got a poisonous snake in their garden, and it's actually a harmless snake. So that's a huge shame. Although, to be honest with you, adders aren't that bad. If you leave a snake alone, they leave you alone. And their venom's not that bad, so there's no point in killing any snake in the UK. As regards to France, we've actually got 3 different lizards living in our garden. We've got the slow worms. The largest one we've seen is about so big.
What have you found, guys?
We found a slow worm.
Wow. Hold. That's amazing.
But be gentle because they can lose their tails.
Ah, that's so pretty.
That's a lizard, James, with no legs. Looks like a snake, but it's not a snake.
Wow, James.
Hey, Joe! Hey!
I used to look for these as a child and could never find them.
Wow, Daddy. And now you found one.
They're beautiful creatures.
Well done.
We have to put them somewhere safe, won't we?
Yeah. That's awesome. Wow, nice and shiny.
You want to hold him?
Oh, you're so lucky
So
today.
he's a lizard, James, without legs. It's not a snake, it's a lizard.
Wow. That's amazing. Hello. Oh, look, I can see.
Right, should we put him away? Put him back? Somewhere safe? I'll put him somewhere safe, don't worry.
Okay.
And we've got 2 types of lizard living in the garden. Around the house, where the walls are brown and grey, we have a little brown and grey lizard. The body's about so big and the tail's about the same. And then amongst the vegetation, now I was always told we had this other lizard, but I'd never seen it for the first 6-7 years. And then all of a sudden I spotted one in the vegetation. And it's similar in shape to the brown lizard that we have, but it's about twice the size, and it's green, and it's got a little bit of blue in the cheeks. It's an absolute beautiful lizard. And since we've been growing more tropical plants and having a sort of bit of a jungle feel going on in our garden, I've seen more of these green lizards now in the garden. I've actually seen 2 snakes in our garden as well, both of which were adders, French adders. The first one, I was lifting up the pool terrace. We've got like wooden terrace blocks, sort of 50 centimetres square. Lifting those up, and all of a sudden a frog started jumping towards me, looking a little bit distressed. And then this green-headed snake was chasing it. Basically, it was after the frog. And I thought initially, oh, it's a grass snake, because I've never seen a snake. It was like an luminous green. But then I sort of stood back a little bit and I realised it was an adder, because it had like a diamond-shaped head. So I left it alone, and I guess it was about so big. And it was like an emerald green. It was an absolutely beautiful snake. And at that time, our garden was quite wild. You know, I planted a lot of wild flowers in the garden, and it was sort of very jungly. And I think that was the reason that the snake had entered our garden and decided that was our home. We've now sort of cleaned up the garden a lot more, taken a lot of the wildflowers out and vegetation, and we've never seen a snake again. The same year I saw that green snake, we actually saw a baby adder on this terrace. Now this terrace is probably 12, 15 foot higher than the garden. No idea how it got up there, but it was a little baby viper about so big in one of the holes in the wall. So unfortunately we had to get rid of that one because of the children. I didn't want a poisonous snake too close to the home. And there seems to be so many reptiles in France because the weather's so much better. You know, I've been fishing on the River Blavet, and a viper has literally swam past me every day I've been there. It must be sort of its home somewhere under a submerged log, but it's probably about 3 foot long, and it's so thick, good sort of 2 inches across. And the thing is, I'm fully aware if you leave snakes alone, they will leave you alone. And basically I swim along the shore of the river, and it gets to about 2-3 foot from me, and all of a sudden it just changes direction, goes across the river, and then swims along the other bank. And it'll actually come back about an hour later, and it'll literally cross where we crossed before, come towards me, and then just shoot off again. And it's probably done that about half a dozen fishing trips. And as you know, if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. I've seen a lot of grass snakes as well. The black ones, I haven't seen any in France. I used to see a load of black grass snakes in the lake they used to go carp fishing in the UK. And they're absolutely beautiful because of the contrasting dark black with a yellow ring around their neck. Absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you a little funny story about grass snakes, guys. Now, I used to search for grass snakes as a kid. The reason being, I always wanted one as a pet. I was fully aware they're non-venomous, and I thought that was it, you know, they're just nice to handle. And one of my friends was on his way to the gymnasium one night, and he saw a 5 foot long grass snake crossing the road. So he stopped his car, picked up the snake and put it in his sports bag. I didn't know, nor did he, until he got to the gym, and we discovered that grass snakes have a form of defence. Very much like a skunk, they have a spray, odorous spray, that they can deliver in the event they get scared. His whole gym bag, all his gym clothes, was saturated with this basically stinky liquid. It ruined everything. So now you know what the defence mechanism of a grass snake is. Yes, they have this gland that they can spray a really pungent smell. So beware. Now I know we do get a lot of vipers around this sort of area, guys, and you know, my neighbour, she's in her 80s, and she actually works on the grass verge across the road, which can get a bit overgrown, and she's come across quite a few vipers over there, and she'll actually kill them with her hand tools that she's using to do the gardening with. And I've said to her so much, you know, it's such a risk, particularly a poisonous snake, trying to kill it, because if you're not quick enough, you could get bitten. If you left it alone, it's fine, it will just scurry off and it won't go anywhere near you. But she has this habit of wanting to kill the snakes. You know, Naomi's from the Philippines, and different ball game there with regards to snakes and venomous snakes in particular. In France, guys, I've been told that the slow worms can actually grow to 1 metre in length, which are huge. You know, in the UK, I've been told, you know, they can grow up to sort of perhaps 24 inches, 2 foot. But to actually get 1 metre long slow worm, that's a huge lizard. I don't know how many different varieties of reptiles and lizards are in France. The only thing I can say is that, you know, we've got 5 that I've seen locally here. The 2 snakes, grass snake and the viper, and the 3 types of lizard that we get in our garden. I must admit, guys, seeing lizards scurrying around our garden is just wonderful. It just makes me feel as though I'm on holiday. I always remember going on holidays with my parents as a kid. You know, we'd go to the south of France and you'll see little lizards scurrying around, and it just brings back so many lovely memories seeing the lizards in our garden. It just makes you feel as though you're on holiday. So I love the fact that we have a lot of reptiles living in our garden in France. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this short video on life in France versus life in the UK, and what reptiles that you can find, lizards and snakes, in the UK compared to those that we've seen in France. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, hit that red button so you don't miss any future releases. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.